There is a fifth dimension.
A dimension of sound.
Damn it, Frank! We tell him to be quiet. I spilled my hot cup of Uranus again.
A dimension of sight.
Hey, Arch. I'm gonna sock you in the puss.
A dimension of mind.
Nan Adams, is that you?
Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk the penultimate episode of the Fifth Dimension Twilight Zone podcast.
Okay, then.
I'm your host, Nick.
Fallout?
You sound like
I
you got
haven't
way
played
too
the
much
Outer
helium.
World, so yeah, I know, right?
Welcome to.
I mean, I did.
Or like a woman who smokes for like 50 years. We're here with the fifth.
You sound like you belong in a Waffle House.
Yeah.
I mean, until
Late
you've been
90s, early
Triv, you'll never know.
2000s.
I'm getting
Triv
my
is so-
chair throwing arms ready.
Triv's so excited to go to a Waffle House. She can't contain it. She'd rather not go to Disney, but she wants to go to a Waffle House.
Have you never been to a Waffle House?
There's none up here.
They're not in there.
Really?
They're not up north.
No, the closest one is like halfway down Missouri. Or like Indiana.
Really? I did not know that.
No.
Do they? What
Jake,
do
you
you
didn't
guys
know
have?
this?
Like Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles or something?
No, we have, there's IHOPs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We don't even
Not-
have a Denny's.
Not the same. Well, they're not really anywhere anymore.
I like
Maybe
IHOP.
from-
They have gigantic
IHOP's
omelets.
Okay, but it's a totally different experience. Waffle House is where you go after you've been clubbing all night. Or been drinking at bars.
We had a
That's your
place
final-
called
Or just want to see a
Beanies.
fight.
Yeah.
Called what?
We had a place called Beanies, but it was a local dive thing, and they had really good food. But it was
Where I used
only
to
like
live-
good post-drunk food.
There was a local dive called the Greasy Spoon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like, it is a greasy spoon, and it's called the Greasy Spoon.
Is that
There was
like
like
meta?
I can't remember,
Inside.
like it was Chicago or something like that, but there was something called the Greasy Spoon that I remember hearing about. So
There's also
It was
Billy
totally a
Goats.
greasy- They had good food, man. I ain't gonna lie, but it was straight up a greasy spoon. Like you did not want to see how the cow was made there. But like,
you
Nice.
sure it was a cow?
we also probably not. We also had the Picky Pit. That was a bar. I think it was in a house.
Nice. We had a strip
I mean, we
joint
have
called
all-
The Office.
Yeah.
We have a UFO saucer strip club down in Tampa. Okay, so Fifth Dimension Twilight Zone podcast. We're back. We're talking the second to last episode of the series, and we are today involving the first official guests that we ever had on this podcast back in 2001, and it was now the last official, at least for the episodes of the podcast, of the 1960s, 50s, the 60s Twilight Zone. That, of course, is Rob, who is in a house full of wonders, and apparently Jacob. Are you trying to kill you? What are you doing, Jacob? Don't kill
He's
yourself,
trying to
man.
kill himself. It's like, not this guy again.
No, it's probably more the episode that's making him do that.
Yeah, probably.
True. I just
But welcome back, at least for the last time of this series. Welcome back, Rob.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good.
Doing good? Doing
Doing
wonderful.
good. Wonderful.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Yeah. Doing wonderful. Yeah.
But we're in the middle of mumblecore right now.
I feel like I had a pretty good track record of every time I came on, it was a really good episode. And well,
You're not that lucky. We're getting to the end. We're getting to the meat of the end. We see that tunnel of nastiness.
I mean, you can't help the fact that everyone has that one episode where they strike out, so it's okay.
Except we stroke out for like the last 18 episodes now, so
It's not that
We kinda-
many. Good lord.
it's been pretty bad.
Well,
Pretty
you
bad.
loved last week's episode.
I enjoyed it. I didn't say it was the greatest. I wouldn't have put it
Well, no.
135 or whatever we did.
We didn't put it. Well, I guess we did put it that low.
We did.
Yeah, yes, you
Spoilers.
did.
Yes, we did.
Spoilers: the episode's already released by now.
Spoilers.
By the way, Rob, I think this episode releases in May of 2028, so you might, actually have a career of script writing by that time. I don't know.
maybe.
So you might have the actual script that you want written out there. You might be running DC at this point. Who knows? But
I'll be going into
but anyways,
production.
I know, right? As they reboot the DCU again. Anyways, welcome back, Rob. Thank you for coming on for at least the last time of this series. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's not the best way to go out, but at least it's something, I guess. Better than what next week's episode's going to be. So, yeah. Jake, Triv, welcome
up?
to the Fifth Dimension, the penultimate episode.
First time here.
I know,
Hello.
first time caller.
First time
Are you
caller,
excited?
long time listener. I
Caller. First time caller, last
Long
time caller.
time caller, first time watcher.
guess. First time
Nick
caller,
said that-
long time dick rider.
Nick said he communicated to me that I did not I needed to get closer to my microphone because I was not loud enough last week. So this episode's I'm gonna be like this the whole time to make sure everyone hears everything I have to say.
Funny. No, it's just like there were points where you were like back here talking, and then like all of a sudden you come up here to talk, and you do like it's amazing how microphones like don't pick up very well sometimes. It's kind of fun.
Far.
Exactly.
Near.
It's almost as if that's how
Fuck.
they work.
It's like you're in the room with me.
Rob, it's almost like I should have learned that during film school or something. I'm telling you
Yeah.
what.
Nah.
That's not where you learn those important skills. That's
you just
that's
learn
when
to
you work
rap
at an
tape.
IHOP or.
Well, I
or-
mean, Rob can
Well,
attest that. Yeah,
tricks
Rob
on
can
you.
attest. We didn't really learn much in film school.
Tricks
I
on
don't
you. I'm
think
the
we
only
did.
one here who didn't go to film school.
I didn't go to film school.
Oh, well, you work in film, so
I work in commercials and video, like short form video and stuff. It's a different thing than film.
it's I work in video games, so you're probably closer to the whole thing than I am.
I
Well,
just work here. I
so
don't.
does
I
your
don't do anything.
face.
Exactly.
I just wait here all week.
I try not to work.
There you
This
go.
is the same Zoom call that we started 3 or so years ago. I've just
Yeah.
been here.
Oh, we
Yeah,
appreciate
it's-
the commitment, man.
I moved and kept the Zoom call going.
I know this is
Power went out. You
This-
kept the Zoom call
I
going.
did on my phone. I'm like those people that when they shut servers down, they just stay on there. But I'm with Zoom. I don't do anything. I stay here.
God.
Are
I
you like
shave
their
here. Don't know
spokesman
what
by
times
this
I'm
point?
bathing. Huh?
Are you like a spokesman by this point for
Sh-
Zoom?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be that other service, the Skype, and be going out of service right now.
I am actually part of a podcast that uses Skype. I don't like. That's just how
They
they've
better
always done
find another
business.
service to.
No,
they
they're
might
in the
find-
process of, but it's just like I saw that it's like, oh, well, shit.
Are they shutting Skype down?
Yeah, in May.
I thought I heard something about that, but
They're calling it the rotary phone of like this kind of service.
I mean, it is the OG.
Yeah, I think they're sticking with Teams or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't
I
I
know.
always thought that was weird that they own, Microsoft had Skype and Teams, but Teams is much more integrated. Teams is like integrated into their Outlook and everything the way that they like wanted
Well-
Skype to be, but they just kind of said, Skype.
I mean, it's no different
off.
than Disney Animation and Pixar. It's like two same companies doing the exact same
Yeah, it's
thing.
The same
It's weird,
product,
Yeah.
but from the same
Yeah.
company. I never really got it.
but I
It's
don't know.
It's like Armageddon and Deep Impact. One could be a porn title and the other one is just kind of weird.
They could both be.
And
porn
that
stars.
weird one was Deep Impact.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this episode. Alex told us that this was going to be a very campy episode, and she was 100% correct. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, but we're going to be talking the penultimate episode of the entire series, which of course is season 5, episode 35. It's called The Fear. It's directed by Ted Post, written by Rod Serling, who seems absolutely uninterested in his opening narration. Production code 2633, air date May 29th, 1964. Written by Peter Mark Richman, and starring Hazel Court.
I thought she looked familiar. I was trying to place her face.
Is it
Now that
because
you
she's
say that-
Hazel?
No, she no, she's starred
She's
in a
got a
lot of
court.
like a lot of horror movies.
Tried to place her face a bunch of times.
She in a lot of
But
was it Roger Corman movies, basically?
yeah. I was trying to think where though. Like I think it was like the Poe movies, I think.
She was in Omen
um,
3, The Final Conflict.
Okay, so she was in Raven and the Mask of the Red Death. That's where I knew her from. She's also in Hammer, a lot of Hammer stuff. So
MC Hammer.
yes, exactly.
She wore the parachute pants.
Yeah, she was in
the
Devil
one that
Girl
came
from
up with it.
Mars.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that like Best Picture winner in 1972 or something like that?
Oh, 100%, yeah. She was
Yeah.
also in The Curse of Frankenstein, which was their original Hammer's attempt at Frankenstein.
So yeah, The Fear. Rob, thank you for coming on to talk of this wonderful episode. the fear is what happens when somebody has a bender had watched the Invaders and decided to have an inflatable monster in this episode. Rob, we'll just start with you. What are you doing on the internet? No, what did you think of the fear? Like, I'm just gonna be straight honest with you. I hated this episode, but I mean, what did you think of it? What's your
Uh, I didn't like it at all. I think the most interesting part of the episode was the sexual tension between the trooper and the woman. And they just seemed like they could care less about, like they seemed like they were annoyed that there was an alien outside, and they just kind of wanted to like flirt and hang out. And he even like he's got his leg draped over the chair that he's sitting in drinking coffee and just made himself at home. And
yeah, that sexual tension
then
knocked
there's
over
an
that car.
alien
I'm telling
like
you what.
somewhere over there.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Rod's just over there going, cancer, give me cancer. It's just like, oh my God. Um,
I really didn't get
I don't.
any sort of, I was trying to find what maybe any kind of deeper meaning or what there is, and I don't feel like there really was one. I think this was just meant to be a campy alien, like unknown thing, and it
This
wasn't very
is
successful to me.
this is the kind of episode that you can tell they just gave up. They're just like, we just need to put out something as one of the last couple episodes and just be done with it. I need to go off and do
Mhm.
Night Gallery and I need to go off and do whatever. It just, God, why did the Twilight Zone end like this? This is such a sad way to fucking degrade and just go off into the wild blue yonder to put out two of the most shitty episodes in the entire series run. It's like, Jake, you always talk about how good the first season was and how good, I mean, the third season was good, but it's just like when the fifth season happened,
It
it
happened.
changed.
Yeah.
It happened. It's like when the
Well,
Simpsons put out the Prince and the Pauper episode. It changed everything for the series. I don't know.
I mean, look at the government, the studio interference and all of that stuff. Like
Well,
that. I mean, that definitely
yeah.
had an effect on Rod Serling. Like you can only and look at the pace he kept up. Like, cause he wrote a good chunk of these episodes, and it was how much downtime did they have in between seasons? I guarantee you, not much. Plus, if he had kids and trying to do all of the rest, I mean,
Well, I mean, it is true that a lot of series, when they continue on, well, Big Bang Theory, Friends, they tend to have a breaking point where the series just kind of is lost in translation. It kind of loses its luster. And yeah, I don't feel like there's anything of note to even talk about with this episode when it comes to what it's doing. Like Rob said, it just
if I had to personally guess, and I'm just going by what I see, this is the overacting, like the way that it was done, all of that stuff makes me think 50s or 60s B movie, like something fierce. Everything about this screams like classic drive-in B movie.
yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah. It didn't really even feel
Um,
like a Twilight Zone episode. It seemed like some, like knockoff Twilight Zone-ish like type show that was saying, "Oh, well, we're gonna have this twist where they're the actual giants."
And everything that we've seen, they've kind of done.
Yeah.
And it's like they mashed up three or four different episodes and
Hmm.
kind of came up with this. Like Nick and I were joking that it's kind of like Invaders 2.0.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you ever see FX and FX2, it's kind of that route where FX2 is just more of what FX did, but not good. I don't know, Jake, what do you have? I saw the gun out earlier, so I kind of figured you probably didn't like the episode.
I didn't hate it.
I'm sorry. Really?
You guys
You got
flip
to give me
flop
that gun.
like one of like when one of you thinks the episode is okay, the other one's like, ah, I hated it. Like that's
Oh
been
God, what is next week gonna
oh,
be like?
I didn't love it either.
right, but you're not the level of hate that Nick is.
No, I think it was bottom level, mid tier, maybe top level, bottom tier. It was not great, but I mean,
I
it didn't
should.
really offer anything new to the
Hmm.
Yeah.
series or anything. That's for sure. It even straight up one time references the invaders right before the end. He says
Yeah.
something about our invaders, but like when he does it, it's almost like he has like a nod and a wink at the camera. Like he stops and he goes, our invaders. And I was
He like
like,
looks at the screen. He's like,
yeah,
List
he
the
practiced.
episode number.
He even turned. His eyes never hit the screen. He's still looking at her, but he paused and he turned almost like he was going to look at the screen and kind of had like a little smirk and was like, invaders. I was like, what? And then like we found the little ship and all that. So it didn't really like I said, it didn't offer anything new. The stuff with the aliens, I didn't really care about. I got questions like why are there big fingerprints if it was just a big inflatable wavy arm guy? All that aside, like the stuff between the man and the woman, I kind of liked some of that. I liked how he like broke her down in the beginning because she was being like a snooty bitch, and he like threw out his little I can't remember his insult, but I thought that was pretty good. Like I mean,
I guess
what it was. I didn't actively hate it, but I didn't love it. I was just kind of like whatever.
I shouldn't say I didn't. I guess I wasn't like physically angry. I just was kind of deflated. No pun
I like
intended.
that.
Deflated. It was deflating because like we're getting to the end of what is considered like one of the greatest anthology series, one of the greatest series that when it comes to inspiration for people that changed television landscape, and this is what we're getting. It feels like if they had another season, they could have corrected a lot of this, and it feels like as Tripp said, with the interruptions with people and the high brass and them going, this is your last season, and Rod just being burnt out, and just you could tell like it is so in your face what's going on. Like the fear is trying to represent like fear of like the idea of like people and the fear of like the Cold War scare and stuff like that, the Red Scare or anything of that matter. But then they add in like an inflatable alien at the end, and
It doesn't
then
even do a good job at that. Like I feel like
yeah,
the
it
name
just
is. I was really expecting, and I don't feel like this was a time that they inverted my expectations. Well, I was expecting it to be like there to be a logical explanation for all the weird shit that happens, and it is just their fear that took hold and made
yeah.
them think all this stuff. Like that would have been more interesting. I mean, it would have been kind of like, yeah, saw that coming, but that would have been more interesting than the inflatable wavy arm guy and the little eight Martians or whatever they are. And
Yeah.
I just didn't do it. And like, I mean, once again, I didn't hate it, but it also, not that everything has to serve a purpose, but it literally served no purpose. I mean, we watched episodes before that I was like, there's no meaning to it. The meaning was just to entertain and be kind of like, haha, that was wah 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 funny. Like the one with the guy who said he could bring people back to life and all that
Oh
we watched a
yeah,
few weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a nothingish burger, and it was just kind of there to entertain, and it had that little ending that was kind of like wah wah wah, but it was entertaining enough. This one's just it doesn't even serve that purpose. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Hey, we did this because we had a quota. We had to make another episode. Here's one. Seemed kind of half baked.
Yeah, yeah.
To answer your question, Jake, the reason that the fingerprints were on the car, those mini aliens that when they're transmitting their signal back to their mothership or whatever, they mention spray painting fingerprints on the vehicle.
Oh, okay. I didn't
So,
hear that part.
no, that's okay.
All right,
And Nick,
well,
for what you were saying about another season, I don't think it would have been any better, honestly. It's like them going from 24 minutes to like whatever 48 or 50. I think that we would have gotten more of the same, if not worse.
I will say
Yeah, I
that
mean that's
every
probably
leading
true.
up to this, well, doing this show, not this particular one, but the fifth dimension. Everybody always said that the fourth season was like the worst and like the low point of the show. I don't think so. Now, I mean, we've got one more episode left in fifth. I think the fifth season's the low point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you, Rob. I know we as the three of us have watched all the episodes because that's what we do. But for you, how much of this season have you watched, like in totality? Like, I mean, and I'm sure you kind of went into the fear of like not having watched a lot for a while, but I
Yeah.
mean, do you remember the fifth season well, or
Not too much. I think the main standout is Nightmare at 30,
yeah,
what is it, 30,000 feet. I think that's like
20,000
the
feet? Yeah,
one
yeah,
20,000. That's like the one standout that I could think of
Is that
for
this
this
season?
season.
Damn.
Yeah,
yeah. It
I
was
think it
like
was,
episode
Wow.
2 of the season.
That
yeah.
seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, it does.
It was. It
I
was a
mean, you're
long
talking
time ago.
36 episodes in total, so I mean that is a
Yeah.
fair.
36 weeks. And I
Yeah.
think
I
we
think
had
a
a
lot
few
of
weeks off.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the episodes I remember are always usually in the earlier seasons. Uh, but I think probably I watched a little more of this season than the fourth because when it started to get to the hour-long episodes, I think I sort of, I don't know, drowned them out or something. I don't really
Yeah,
remember
I mean
much
they're
of the
not
fourth season.
right. They're not bad. Like the fourth season, there's some good episodes. I think we even put one of those episodes in like our top 20. But I mean, I think the problem with it is just the inspiration and the drive for originality. And I think this is what we're gonna find issues with when we get into like the 80s Twilight Zone, the 90s Twilight Zone, even Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone is I think the truly special nature of what Rod Serling was doing at the time is hard to replicate. So you can do like amazing stories or once again the reboots of the Twilight Zone or you can do Alfred Hitchcock Presents or I don't think any of it ever really was able to get to the level of this series, maybe Tales from the Crypt, I guess you could say, because but that was a whole different beast. That was all horror. That was more, graphic violence and, crazy scenarios and stuff like that. And here it's actually trying to say something about humanity. And I think the fear tries to take that idea and just doesn't know how to successfully operate on the idea. I mean, they go, Triv was laughing when we were watching the episode and she was laughing about the simple fact of like, when did this car get when did it get put on its side? Like, there's no like structure to this episode. It's just two people that find some weird shit, and that's I don't know.
And
Yeah.
I think if if there were a message about humanity in it, I think it actually looks bad on humanity because at the end, when they think it's a giant still, he the trooper comments that she said something about why isn't it attacking or something. He's like, oh, if it wanted to kill us, it could. And it could like it has the power because it's so big. And he's like, that's why I have to use this. And then he just shoots it. And like
Yeah,
from his perspective, he's just like murdering this giant that has done really nothing to them, hasn't harmed them or anything. And he's just like, I'm just gonna kill it. And so
well that
I don't know if that's like intentional, saying that the fear may, you think about Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, and that's
yeah,
like their kind of way of showing that like with fear humans are evil or will make the wrong choice or
uh,
something. I think maybe that's a stretch, but um
We're reactionary, I
well,
think, is what it's kind of like.
yeah.
Because
yeah,
again, you go back to a lot of B movies, and I guess maybe it's a different scenario because it's it's giant grasshoppers or beings from outer space or brain sucking flying brains or something like that. But
Brain
the
sucking,
reaction
flying
is
brains.
always to you've got that one guy that wants to study them. He's always considered like the bad guy.
Mhm.
And like, the kind of rogue sheriff or, whatever the guy is like, we have to kill it. We have to take it out. Like and it's always the guy that takes it out that is the hero, gets the
Yeah.
girl in the whole 9 yards. So
well,
however
you know
you
what?
equate that.
It's funny. This is gonna sound really funny, but I rewatched that Looney Tunes movie that's coming out here soon, The Day the Earth Blew Up, and they do a really good job of fear amongst people in that movie. Um, and you see that and like that's why The Invaders is so kind of influential because the nature of the
Thank you.
fear, the nature. What's it?
Thank you for saying that the Invaders is influential. Jake, we made
But
the
it,
right choice and put it at number 2.
no, I never said that. I'm just saying
You
it's
just said
influential in the
it.
simple fact of what
You put the words
this
together. Invaders number 2. Good. We're
My
good.
favorite episode. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
We love you, Nick.
Rob, we have this problem where they think The Invaders is like the greatest episode ever, and I refuse to believe that.
No, 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 no. Eye of the Beholder is the greatest
The
episode.
second greatest episode ever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Possibly tied, but
but no, but like The Invaders has the idea of like the unknown quantity of like these robots that are wandering around and the kind of nature of the woman and her kind of, how we view something that we don't know and how we feel like it's going to attack us. Here it's like you're just basically fearful of something that doesn't make sense. And like you find a ship and you just look inside of it, it's like all right, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any
And
sense, but
And I just remembered too, because Liv, or Triv, you were talking about the aliens there, and they're talking at the end, and I think one of them says like, "We failed because they're not scared of us." So it was like that kind of undoes the thought I had of him just having this irrational fear turning him evil of something that might be good because they didn't have good intention. Admittedly, at the end, they're saying, "Oh, their intention was." To strike fear. So
Yeah, that is a very good point.
Exactly. All right, Jake. Let's do the opening narration. Let's get the most was it unexcited that I've seen Rod Serling do an opening narration ever.
Okay. The major ingredient of any recipe for fear is the unknown. And here are two characters about to partake of the meal: Miss Charlotte Scott, a fashion editor, and Mr. Robert Franklin, a state trooper. And the third member of the party, the unknown, that has just landed a few hundred yards away. This person or thing is soon to be met. This is a mountain cabin, but it is also a clearing in the shadows known as the Twilight Zone.
Lost Triv. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Okay, I'm all right.
I'm sending help. I'm sending help. Shh. I'm sending help to take
by the way,
down.
this is mine. This is not the
Yes,
copy
exactly.
that Funko Pop copied off of me.
Exactly. Assholes.
Did you sue him for money for rights? Are
They
you the
even
reason we
copied
haven't
his
got new Funkos for Twilight Zone?
they even copied his like forehead wrinkles that I made on there.
They're like, we're stealing that from you.
They lacked on the
Uh,
eyebrows, though.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
I had a thought on this, and I think Rob hit on it a little bit earlier, but like, there's a, like you said, it didn't feel like a Twilight Zone episode, and nothing really. They could have literally been anything. You could have had a hunter out in the woods, and she could have been like, a hippie. It could have been so many things, like all the things that they try to make. Like, do you guys think there was a reason for like the reason you had a fashion designer and a sheriff? Like, I understand the point of the sheriff, but like for her, she could have literally been anything.
It was a lot of backstory that didn't go anywhere
Yeah.
unless
Because
they
the
just
sheriff was
wanted
near.
them
Far.
like the whole thing of like she was upset that she had to go into town because nobody was delivering her groceries. I mean, if I guess like that whole setup was just somebody told the trooper because she was in town and told somebody
Yeah.
about lights in the sky. But like I don't know why the fashion designer from New York and all that. It feels like there was some like big backstory between the two of them that they were going to connect later on if this was some feature film, but they're like, oh, we forgot we only have 20 minutes to.
Yeah.
Classic conundrum.
So yeah. So while you guys were talking, I wanted to grab the companion because I wanted to see if it had anything to say about this episode, and it does. In the seven remaining shows written by Serling, his fatigue was clearly evident in the writing. Most of the script was cliched, maudlin, and melodramatic. Often the plots were so thin that the episode consisted of people standing around, staring, and restating the obvious. Everything had to be made verbal. Characters either define themselves or each other at tedious length. And because Serling distracted his scripts, and because his verbal style as a narrator was easily recognizable, if he wasn't cautious, his characters end up speaking in a manner that was exclusively his. In The Fear, much of the dialogue sounds like two Rod Serlings talking to each other. Rod, you need to pull out Rod Serlings and start talking to each other. Yeah, both of them. So yeah, this is as Rob finds two Rod Serlings. This is the problem with these episodes, and you're gonna see this in Bewitching Pool. Well, I
Yeah.
guess that's Earl Hamner, but
Too much rod.
Yeah.
yeah, too much Rod,
Only
Roddy
so much rod
himself.
one person could take.
I will say this kind of felt like this was Twilight Zone's clip show. Like genuinely, it kind of had because it had monsters doing Maple Street.
There is two of them.
You had the episode where like you had like the little people like on the like the little Barbie people in the little town. What was that episode? Let's
Oh, the
stop
little
over in
alien
a
girl who's playing with him.
yeah. Let's stop over in a quiet town. You had invaders. It feels like he pulled 4 or 5 plots and put them all into this.
Yeah, it's 5 characters in search of a trash can.
Actually, 2.5
So-
characters in search of a trash can.
right. And so Jake, get this. This is going to be your favorite trivia. So Peter Mark Richman played Charles McCulloch in Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
That movie.
Or
Didn't
Jason
take
Jason
place
kills
in
people on a boat.
Manhattan. Fuck's
Never
sake!
cut someone's head off.
I mean, it takes place on a boat. It's like what happens in Last Voyage of Demeter.
Yeah, kinda.
He played Amon Sur in Superman the animated series. He was Charles Baxter in the Batman animated series. He was Dunwell in Naked Gun 2.5. He was in The Miracle of Jesus.
I have a question about
Jesus.
the episode.
This is the state.
I have an
trooper.
answer.
Did the trooper get his flashlight from the giant?
That thing was huge. Holy shit!
It was the largest
The original
flashlight ever.
Maglite.
I was like, how many like D batteries is that taking?
17.
Yeah.
As a follow up to that, he slept in his damn coat with the badge and everything on it, like
Yeah,
on
Yeah,
the
but he's
couch.
most
committed.
uncomfortable couch. It seemed like
Oh man,
it's one of those old timey couches where the cushion's like an inch thick.
He was also
Can
in
be
the
used
Naked
as a
Gun 2.5,
flirtation.
The Smell of Fear.
She also didn't change her
could've-
clothes.
No, she didn't.
Oh.
It's
probably
like a play.
the same. I'm surprised there was no plastic on the furniture.
That didn't come until the 70s.
You know, for being a fashion designer, the fact that she didn't change her clothes and have like a different outfit the next day.
Yeah.
She was
Well,
in
you know-
fear. What do you expect, Rob?
Well, that
She's
and
fearful for changing.
did you notice that her shirt thing had her tunic had pockets? So that's probably why she didn't change it, because pockets in clothes are awesome.
I feel as if you could maybe.
I'm
get
used to
other
having
clothes that have
pockets.
pockets as
Yeah.
well.
She could have like all the pockets.
You could just pocket pants, shoes with
But she's
pockets,
Sally Pocket
kangaroos.
Pants.
Yes, she is.
Do we really even want to talk about the plot of this episode? Oh my god. Rob, this is
Sonic.
what we resorted to. Now that we're
That's
getting
Sonic
close
with
to
out
the
the
end.
whole plot in my notes.
Is it like one paragraph long? Like
It's
it's
like
only
2
2 paragraphs in the
paragraphs.
Wikipedia.
It's like 2.5 paragraphs.
Wow,
Uh,
you're overachieving.
So I don't know. These guys find a flipped over car. For some reason it flips over and then gets flipped back over again. They have discussions.
Woman
they see a
sees
big-
lights. Guy shows up. Car moves. Scary stuff happens. He sleeps on her couch.
Giant
flashlight.
penis shadow. I thought looked like a penis shadow. For anybody
Everything
who's
looks like a
giant
penis
dick
shadow
eye.
to you.
I don't know, giant dick eye.
Giant dick eye.
Giant
Yeah,
dick eye
giant-
farts.
Old dick guy.
Old dick eye.
That's no giant. That's just old dick guy.
Yeah, and then when they poke it in the bag,
That ain't no giant. Old dick eye.
Did you
Come on
like
down
the,
here, old dick eye.
Look, you come from the big old city. You don't know about these things. Down here.
You come from New York
the one
City.
eye,
New York City?
the one eye monster, the one eye monster. No, and then when they poke it in the back, it just has very bad flatulence.
I just go,
They poke one-eyed old dick eye in the back. Just
The
releases all of it.
that was the
Oh, man.
eye from the
Of-
Twilight Zone that's behind Jake.
oh, there you
Is
go.
that where?
That's
Is,
where the eye came from. It's the
that-
origin of the
I forgot to
entire
reset the
series.
mouse.
Oh
That's
no.
the twist.
Oh, I got my new camera.
they only
I didn't
figure out
reset
the
mouse.
origin. They only figure out the origin 2 episodes before the end, or the last
I mean, that
episode
makes
they
sense.
filmed.
That's the twist
What a
of the whole
twist.
series.
The giant
That's
eye
where the
was a
eyes-
big flatulent dick eye.
Fletch.
Oh my god!
Did you enjoy the graduate inspired shot from behind the big alien thing? Like all you get is ass and like really good calves.
Right, right.
He's like, don't shoot it too quickly.
Ted Post is like, we're gonna do it post. Fuck it. I said, you already post. It's I don't know what else do we want to talk about. This. I mean, they see the aliens and They stare at them through green screen and very bad visual work, and the aliens basically are the creatures but smaller, and they fly away to
I mean, you
Munchkin
could,
Land or something like that.
I suppose you could make the point of your fear is only as great as you allow it to be because the aliens are so small and they're hiding behind that shadow or that illusion of
So they build
largeness.
a giant inflatable dick eye. I mean,
Yes.
like
I'm not
two
saying it's
source.
good. I'm just saying it's a thing.
We've lost Jake. Jake has gone
Help!
from.
Help me! A giant dick eyes got me.
Jake is just a head now, twisted
That's
and
just
evil.
old dick eye.
Old dick eye got me.
I mean, if there's one thing you could say is I do well is I come up with weird ass fucking things like cups of Uranus and
Well, yeah, that's
what
what
was
we
the other
like about.
stuff.
We all just got
Did
real
we just
quiet.
stop? What the hell?
No, I thought Jacob
I was
like
looking at something else and I looked over and I was like, did I miss something?
Yes.
I was waiting. I thought you were trying to correct your thing. So
I am, but I'm just
really,
fucking about, so you know.
Give him a second. This is
Go
worth
take
it,
your time.
Rob.
no,
This-
is it really worth it?
It's worth it. Yes, of course it's worth it. How can you say it's not worth it?
That's-
Is the
Last time I did
nose-
this in studio mode, you guys just couldn't see me doing it.
Yeah.
If only OBS had some feathering, I could do it. Little Mel.
Oh my god, you're slightly off kilter there, Hefe.
How's that? Ooh. I'm back.
Man, that
The
cat
funny
is
thing is your
huge,
cat's like,
Rob.
what the hell's going on? My cat just like,
Yeah, he's
And that's like a
big
fucking
cat.
Mancoon.
I was gonna
Is that what
say,
they call him?
is that what it is?
Maine Coon.
I don't know. He might be. We're not sure the
Is it
breed.
Mancoon?
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Maine Coon.
It's a big fucking cat.
Oh,
I got
he's
big cats too,
adorable.
but they're just fat.
Well, same. What's his name? Or her name?
Dexter.
Aw. I love Dexter.
Does she have a laboratory?
Yeah, he
Or
uses
he.
it all the time.
Oh,
My cat's got a
man.
bathroom inside my bathroom. Is that weird? Is that like bathroomception?
Yes.
He's
Okay,
begging for food just
so
because I'm still awake.
Aww.
He's like, "You're still awake. That means I get food."
Woohoo.
all right.
My
So what
Cassie
else
is
do we want to talk
adorable.
about?
Aww.
She is not. She's a jerk.
Aww, she's adorable.
She's ruining my podcasting experience.
Oh, suck it up, cupcake.
Okay, what else do we want to talk about with this episode? Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Rob,
Honestly, I
Jake.
gotta say, I think I got a line with Rob here, what he said in the beginning. Well, I didn't hate this episode. There's just not really anything to go over. Is like it is what it is. What you see on
Yeah.
screen is about all it's worth. There's not anything to dissect. I thought maybe the fingerprint thing, but apparently that was explained.
Yep,
There's just
it was.
nothing. Even though I didn't hate it, it does not offer anything. It does not offer anything for a discussion. It's kind of like the water cooler the next day after this episode was just empty. Nobody was over there talking about it.
Let's see. Some
I mean, I could
tropes,
tell
cut phone
you-
lines,
I could tell you
gaslight. There's the aliens are gaslighting apparently the characters.
Oh my god.
Karma
I mean,
Houdini.
you know what they are? They're kind of just pranksters, really. Like they're in it for shits and giggles, and that's kind of it.
Scooby
like
Doo
punks.
hoax.
They're like, what?
They're like punked from the
Oh.
early 2000s.
Oh yeah, the Ashton Kutcher show.
Yeah.
I like
One
how
oh go ahead, sorry.
she was like, when they saw the light, she's like, "What could it be?" And he's like, "Maybe a car driving or a wayward plane or something." That's what I would think if it was logical. And she's like, "Well, tell me something illogical." And he's like, "Aliens." She's like, "Oh, must be."
Fucking penis eye or whatever we called it.
Oh,
Dick
dick eye.
Old dick eye
Oh.
out there again, fucking around with
I
his big
wasn't
mag
gonna say
light.
this, but it could
Let's
be
compare
old
mag
dick
lights.
That is one thing. Like they were chewing scenery something fierce. Like the amount of overacting in this was insane.
Yeah, but it made it entertaining.
No, 100%. But it's such a like you do have overacting in the Twilight Zone, but I don't know that we've had this level.
I still
He
just like that he
played.
was sitting on her chair with his leg over the over the arm of the chair while he's drinking coffee, and they just met like 2 minutes ago.
He played. Mark Richman played Ralph Offenhouse in Star Trek: The Next Generation, an
That's what I know
episode
him from
called
in
The
Star
Neutral
Trek: The Next
Zone.
Generation.
The departing
Uh,
flying saucer is viewed from underneath. It's the same saucer used in the Forbidden Planet and several other
oh, of
Twilight Zone
course.
episodes, courtesy of MGM Studios, where the
Dude,
series was filmed.
the Forbidden Planet like financed this whole fucking show.
It
Every
did.
episode's got shit from the Forbidden Planet in it.
It 100% did.
Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look for anything I can find on like
I mean,
This will
Trooper
be
there's
your
just
Franklin's.
not a
shortest.
lot. Yeah,
What's
exactly.
that?
What?
This will be your shortest episode yet.
God, I'm trying not to make it my shortest episode yet,
Nick,
but
we
I'm
there's
not.
if there's nothing to talk about, there's nothing to talk about. It's okay.
It's not okay.
It's
I'm gonna go
okay.
cry
They're like
now.
really there's
Rob,
I'm
please
like
help me.
really struggling here. There's not anything
No.
there's nothing to like clown on. There's nothing to really like um dissect. There's just I mean, we've more or less said what happened in the episode. I don't know what to say about this episode because there's not it's just very I didn't hate it as much as you guys, but it is. It's just very like, yeah, it happened and that's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah. You know what,
Yeah, I
Nick?
mean, they're just.
Take this as a chance to not have to spend 15 hours editing like you did with that one.
Well, we don't talk about that one
I know we
ever.
don't.
You want us to
I'm
make it
not going
interesting
to.
like
We're
that
not
one?
doing that. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that where it's at, safely in the vault to never be talked about again. I just wish this. I just wish this episode had more to say. I really do. I wish it had, more to talk about with the idea of what the fear could be. It literally is just two people. It's like when you take the stopover in a quiet town and then you really don't do anything with it. You don't have any ideas with it. You don't throw anything. You just have two people find an alien and find an inflatable dick eye, and then that's just it. That's the whole entire episode.
And
And
When
I
I think
Cat
of,
agrees with right. You agree with me?
I was gonna say when I think about the episode, I know it was like the full length of a regular episode, but it feels like 5 to 10 minutes.
yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it
agree.
did fly by. So there's that.
Just because
Woohoo.
Yeah.
nothing, it just feels like there's just enough there to fill up like a short.
Yeah. I was playing Balatro while I was watching the episode, so it went pretty quick.
I will say I
Um,
enjoyed and again, the campy aspects of this really didn't hit until much later in the episode, but for what they were doing, I did think the blow up inflatable thing was outside the box. Like it was an interesting idea, kind of based off of stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, and this is probably not even remotely close, but I remember reading in 11/22/63, the Stephen King novel, that the guy that Khrushchev, the guy that ran the Soviet Union, like painted up a whole bunch of things to make them look like missiles to make his armor or his forces look quite a lot larger. And
was this
this is kind of a Trojan horse, like not a Trojan horse, but it's kind of like a distracting thing of, ooh, look at all these things, look at all the scary stuff. You know, it's
was this
kind of in
before
the
or after he bought a car from a guy in a
I'm
car lot?
assuming after, but who the hell knows? I might be crazy, but it was sort of took place around the Bay of Pigs, I think. But I don't know. That Nick, if that doesn't make sense, just cut it. I don't know what I'm basically, they're trying to put up the big like, ooh, look at this thing. Be scared of this
They're trying to
thing.
be
And
scary, and they
Yeah.
failed. They're like
yeah.
fucking Cheech and Chong or some shit.
They kind of are. Like, really, they feel like
They're like
pranksters because
They're
they
like Beavis and
only
Butthead.
attacked. Well, yeah, and they find these two people out in the middle of the wilderness, and they're scared as shit. And they're like, "Hey, let's we're teenagers. Let's prank these guys. All that's missing is like toilet paper and eggs."
They're like
Like an
reporting
episode.
back to their commanders, and then they get back, they're like, so you tried to scare them, right? And they're like, yeah, well, what did you do? Well, we moved his car and we walked on the roof of their house.
We put
They're
giant
like, oh,
fingerprints on his car.
Yep.
what else
They
did you
should have
do?
hired the
And we
We
pulled out old
painted
dick guy.
We got
we pay
the wavy armed
yeah.
inflatable guy.
I mean
They
We
that's
should have
show him
seen
the inflatable arm tube man.
yeah.
they should have hired Beetlegeist.
I mean, I guess we can talk about, I don't know, George Hamilton
He's
and the
like,
Gay
we can talk
Blade
about
from 1981.
which one?
George Hamilton and Zorro the Gay Blade from 1981. We could just talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
We could talk
We
about the
could talk.
Devil's Express and the gold crushed velvet skin tight overalls.
We could do both
Yay.
at the same time.
We could
Yay.
talk
Different
about old Dick
sets
Eye
they
and like
had.
what we could do for him. He could be on the. He could be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That was a funny line. It was what was it?
Oh yeah, a reject, a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade reject,
Yeah.
or not reject. She
A
said,
fugitive. It was a
fugitive.
fugitive
Yeah,
from the Thanksgiving Day parade. That was there was some okay lines. Like there was a couple of witty lines, but overall, yeah.
I wonder if that was the
The
time because they used to actually let all the balloons go after
Really?
the parade. Like right around when it started, they would just let them all go. I think there was a prize if you found it or something like that.
I mean, just give it to the Joker. I mean, Batman will eventually let it go free. Yeah, exactly.
sure that's good for the
We just
environment.
need to get Juno, our caseworker. You know,
What?
nothing. Juno,
Juno?
our caseworker from Beetlejuice. You guys
Oh,
really
Oh
screwed up.
yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are terrible.
I was thinking maybe that was Mariah Carey from Precious or something. I don't know why I went there, but
Mariah Carey.
I was thinking Juno from the movie Juno.
yeah, there's that Blogulator.
I only think about Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure.
there's
Think
that
about
too.
the boyfriend.
That unfortunate fact as well.
Yeah.
I just think about the what do they call it? Not the Congo line, the what was the train? The disco train
Oh yeah.
or
Oh, Soul Train thing.
Yeah.
Soul
Yeah.
Train.
Yeah, that they caught flack for. Apparently, that was racist. Yeah, I don't know how.
Everything's racist. Everybody a little bit racist. Okay. Okay. Jacob, let's do the closing narration.
Yeah, closing narration.
Yep.
Fear, of course, is extremely relative. It depends on who can look down and who must look up. It depends on other vagaries, like the time, the mood, the darkness. But it's been said before, with great validity, that the worst thing there is to fear is fear itself. Tonight's tale of terror and tiny people on the Twilight Zone. That was a very, like, he said a lot of words, but didn't really say anything.
Which is weird for Rod
He's
Serling.
like, I
Yeah.
just gotta get this over with.
Yeah.
Like, that was just that was like word salad.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta go off and do night gallery. I'm out, guys. Peace.
Stuff was said, but nothing was said.
Yeah.
He
As
did
he-
sell
Things were
me on the
said,
next
but
episode.
nothing was
at the end.
Yeah.
He's like, you gotta check it out.
Yep.
I feel like he wrote this and then like, oh, I'll come back to it, and then somebody got it and they came up and said, hey, we're shooting this. He was like, wait, that wasn't done. That was just like a rough draft. That was an idea.
He found
I
it in
wonder
the
if
Ark of
these
the
were
Covenant.
the original orders, like if the final episode was originally, if somebody just arbitrarily said this will be the last episode, rather than kind of curating and say maybe Nightmare at 20,000 Feet should be the last episode.
I mean, technically, this is considered the last episode of the series. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have one more episode that we're going to air in June. So, I mean, there's that, I guess.
It's kind of unofficial, but since I saw it, I kind of consider it the kind of unofficial end of the series. Carol for Another Christmas it was written by Serling. It wasn't like one of his, but I would almost say that was a better ending than anything we got with the actual series.
Yeah, but it's Christmas.
And
It's not the bewitching pool trip. Gosh. You know what, Triv? I think we
What?
should talk about Pace Magazine.
No,
and
damn it.
IMDb.
Oh, okay. Where do you guys
And
think this fell? So IMDb and Paste, where
101.
Nah. 90
Enough.
90?
and
3/4.
90 and 100.
Okay. Rob, do you have any thoughts on where this might end up?
On IMDb's list?
IMDb's list or Paste Magazine.
How many episodes are there?
156.
They probably put it up like 115.
Okay. So Paste Magazine, and this, I mean, every episode has to go someplace. They put this at 74.
Who
I
earns?
said 90.
Yeah. Another season 5 episode where Serling appears to be running out of fresh ideas. The fear follows a skittish woman and a state trooper terrorized by mysterious aliens, resembling an incredibly tense and well-known season 2 episode called The Invaders. Although the antithesis of the earlier episode, which relies heavily on visual scares, the fear is bogged down by too much exposition. That said, the tone-shifting end is full of quaint humor.
I was actually going to say 80, but I was like, maybe too
Yeah.
low.
And IMDb had this at 109. So,
I was close.
yeah.
101.
I
For all
can't
of
say I'd want, like, and I know that these episodes, like, when they get into the lower half, they're in that area for a certain reason. To some extent, it's because, you've got just better episodes above it. To some extent, it could be because there doesn't say much. It could have a really good start and a really bad ending. It could be a lot of stuff, but I don't know. This one feels like, at least with IMDb, it should be lower.
On Wikipedia, this is like the most bare bones Wikipedia entry ever for a Twilight Zone episode. It has the opening narration, the closing narration, the plot, references.
Yeah.
Like nothing else. Like it's just stuff that is pulled straight up carbon copy from the show or the episode, and then nothing. There's usually at least something.
Yeah. There's not always trivia with these, actually. But yeah, overall, there's a little bit more, at least if nothing else, a little bit more synopsis.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
The
True
synopsis
that.
even is next to nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So, with that said, let's go ahead and head to the last segment, the second to last segment of this entire run. Twilight Zone ranking list, the greatest ranking list since inflatable dick eyes.
It's a good band right there.
Right.
Will
I'm
you
putting this
guys join
down.
the?
The
Well, we
inflatable dick
don't.
eyes?
Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible dick eyes.
I don't
The
think you
incredible
sent us the
inflatable dick
list,
eyes.
Nick.
Yes, I did.
Where?
Oh, I sent.
Twitter.
Wait, hold on.
Did you send it on
I
Twitter?
thought no, maybe I forgot to send it to you, Trev. I'm sorry, my bad. I sent it to Rob, and I sent it to for some reason I thought I sent it to you.
Oh, so you don't want me to talk about a piano in?
The house?
You guys don't get to do this after next week.
Yes, we do.
No.
We'll find something
way.
different.
We'll do it as long as it needs to be done. It's God's work.
Send it to you on Twitter.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to start. Where am I going to start this?
What if we
I
talk
will
about
put-
a dick eye in?
The house?
I'm going to go all the way down to black leather jackets as a starting point.
150?
Yes.
Wow.
150?
Yeah, I think this
What?
is. I think this is worse than black. I think actually this is worse than black leather jackets.
What?
Wow.
I think
This
this is
episode
number
has
2.
nothing to say.
I mean,
At all.
I agree with you there. I feel like we agree on the same points. I just don't think they're as egregious as you do. I'm not as offended by them, I'll say. I'm just like,
Yeah,
I don't think
kinda
it's
the same.
good.
Yeah.
I think it's the top 10 episode.
Top 10 as far as like
Rob trying to
bottom 10?
be different.
Well, of
Was
course.
it what's that? What's
Like
that?
146 to
Armin White guy?
156 top 10?
I don't know. You guys tell me where you want it.
I want to put this right above a piano in the house so we can move it down and talk about a piano in.
The house?
It's a good thing we're not doing that. It's a good thing we're not doing that.
We could.
We could do a lot of things. Is this worse than Incredible World of Horse Ford?
47.
Oh, where's Horace Ford? 144. Horace Ford was more annoying.
Yeah, I didn't like Horse Wars. That's the one where he goes back and gets the shit kicked out of him, right?
Yeah, with
Yeah, I didn't like that
good
one. This
reason.
one at least happens. It's quick, fast. It's pretty simple. It doesn't have anything to say. It doesn't really leave much of an impact, but I could say that negatively as well. It doesn't negatively impact me either. It's just
Yeah.
like it does its thing and it's over with. Horse Forward was just kind of like this feels like an hour long episode. Was it an hour long episode?
You know, I normally
Is
don't
it
do this,
better or
but
worse
I
than Caesar
kind
and
of
me?
I was gonna say I kind of agree with Nick as compared to like I look at this list and I see the ones that I'd be okay watching again, the ones where I never want to see them again.
Hmm.
This was unoffensive, but it was also incredibly boring. I would not want to watch like The Incredible World of Horace Ford again, but I could see myself like offhandedly watching The Bard and going, okay, you know what? It has something.
Ugh,
There's humor barely, but it's like I'd almost rather
there's
watch The
attempts.
Bard than this. Yeah, there's
The bar was
something
bad.
there. I think I would almost put this at one like a I would put this above like towards the better between The Bard and Horace Ford myself, I think.
Which one is that? Oh, I see it.
143 and 144.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna fight it because I really I give so few fucks about this
Right.
episode that I don't really care. I'd put it above that, but not like far. I mean, I have no idea where I put it. I care so little that I'm not really even looking above that. It's just this episode is just kind of like
It's a nothing
I will
burger.
forget about it next week. I'll be like, which one's the fear?
How about you, Rob?
If I'm just skimming through here, if I'm just looking at these, I would probably put it somewhere around 39, 140 because I I'm not a fan of the 16 millimeter shrine. And though I'm not a fan of this episode either, I think this was more tolerable to me than that episode. But I also don't like Mr. Dingle, but I don't know if I would put Mr. Dingle below this episode because at least that had some kind of weird, interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
Ooh, Judgment Night. Isn't that the one on the summer or on the? That's like
That
episode
was
season one.
that was always the episode that was right before you came on.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
So in the
That was the
140s, maybe.
coffee. That was the coffee not tea episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, the thing about machines too. I like that one. This was like
But that was at
the
least
Cobra
that was at
razor.
least goofy enough to warrant,
It had that
they
razor.
had a
Yeah. Attached to the
this is
clear like string.
yeah, this had nothing.
I
It
think I
worked
may
10
take it
hours and
back.
all it wanted is
16 millimeter
Wingstop and it didn't
Shrine
even
did
get
have
that.
more going on
Yeah.
than this, so it'd be
Which one?
below 16 millimeter Shrine.
Like I
See,
said, all
I
it
would
wanted is
give
Wingstop.
See, I would give this I would put Four of Us Are Dying above it too, just because like 60 millimeter trying, it's not a great episode, but there is some interesting ideas, and even the play with the mirrors was interesting. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
The four of us are dying. Are dying. Four of us are dying was in our last place for so long, but like now we've seen such worse that I'm like, it's not really that bad.
Yeah.
I feel like it
Let's
gets
get
bad rep now.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like you see a bad movie and you're like, "Oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever seen." And then you see three more bad movies and it's like, "Holy shit, that's not as bad."
Well,
And then you
that
see
and compared, and it was season one as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Like in season one, it was awful, but after we've been through three and four and five, it's kind of like, I mean, it 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 has some redeeming qualities.
So yeah, this doesn't have redeeming quality, so we can put Near the Jungle, right?
We're not putting it that low.
No, the jungle was terrible.
This isn't outwardly offensive. This is just boring. There's
I
a
mean,
difference.
it's boring to the point that it's offensive.
It's just,
All right, so 144 sound good.
I think so.
sure.
All right, Rob, you lose. I'm sorry, but ironically, you still have the first ever episode you came on, which was Walking Distance, is still in the top 10.
And
Literally,
I think I was on for Eye of the Beholder.
were you?
I think so. I think that was the second
Nice.
episode I was.
Good taste. You've got great taste, man. But you
Now
knew
you have
this.
terrible taste because you came up for the fear.
Oh, every good
My
team has one loss.
my
Suck it up.
management booked me on this.
Yeah, right, right. All right, that sounds good. So, with that said, new number 144 is The Fear. Number 155 is The Trouble at Templeton. Number 1 is Eye of the Beholder. Next episode
Hold
is
your horses there, old dick eye. Number
The Guy Movies.
126 for the second to last time is a piano in.
The house.
Oh, and he's flexing. Look at that flex. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And release. Ah, feel the burn.
He's not releasing. He's edging.
He is edging.
He's edging old Dick Eye.
Agent Old Dick Eye.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
That's our next podcast. That should be our next podcast title, Edging Old Dick Eye. It's so weird.
Speaking of
All
that,
right, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to it. We've come to the end. We are officially coming to the last episode of the entire series.
Wow.
The one that is notoriously known as Triv's favorite episode of all time of any TV show she's ever watched.
I don't watch a lot of TV, so
Yeah, this is notoriously known as like one of the worst episodes of the Twilight Zone. There's a reason this episode is last. That, of course, is the finale of the Twilight Zone, which is season 5, episode 36, called The Bewitching Pool, directed by Joseph M. Newman, written by Earl Hamner Jr. Stars Mary Badham, June Foray, Kim Hector, and Dee Hartford, whatever their name is, some kid. Yeah, so that's where we're coming to. We're coming to the conclusion of this entire series with the Bewitching Pool. Yeah. All right, Rob Mr. Dodrill, as our first and last official guest of this series of episodes. I don't have anything to say to you. Go away. Go back into the Twilight Zone. We'll never talk to you.
Shit.
No, I'm kidding. I really appreciate you.
you like melted away.
dear God, he was
We-
replaced by a Funko.
We sprayed water on him. No, but seriously, like, thank you for being like the first official guest, and thank you for being the last guest. I appreciate it. I know, you came on with, when me and Trev were lightweights, and then eventually Jake came on and corrupted our podcast, and
He broke our
now
cherries.
he broke our cherries, and now we're here with you and
Well, thanks for
3 years
inviting me.
older. Yeah,
It's always been
We-
fun. I also commend you all for being able to make it through every episode and do a podcast on it. So it's really
We haven't
great,
done
I
it
think.
yet.
I know.
No, he's right.
could-
We
we-
haven't.
You still
could do
one
the
episode, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we could do The Simpsons, which is like 700 episodes. So I don't know if I want to do that, but
Well, we've talked
No,
about
seriously.
most of them here anyway.
Yeah, no doubt.
have to
be
You've
right.
referenced
Right.
at least every Treehouse of Horror.
exactly. But anyways, Rob, thank you for coming on, man. I know you have content, you have stuff, you're still working on stuff, you work, all that good stuff. Where's that content at again?
I've started posting a little bit to my YouTube channel again, which is just you could just search my name, Robert Dodrill. It's like down here, I think, if you need to spell it. It's mostly the stuff I've posted is kind of just I've been exploring different AI like tools that can kind of help in low budget filmmaking. Last one I posted was about a site that you can upload a still image to and it'll generate a 3D model. And they're not the greatest 3D models, but if you just need something, you're doing a low budget film or you need something in the background, like stuff like that, it's not like game changing stuff, but just kind of cool tools that AI is doing. I know a lot of people don't like AI, but I like kind of exploring the technology. And so I've kind of started talking a little bit about that on my channel. And outside of that, just been writing and breaking down what I hope to be my first micro budget feature. So if I can push that forward, I'll hopefully be later on this year trying to push into some kind of production.
Well, just think of us when you become famous. That's all I'm gonna say. Just think of the Fifth Dimension and Twilight Zone podcast. We started. It's where you started, and that's where
Think
it
of us
just
and
gonna put
say,
a-
"Damn, that's not where I want to be."
I'm gonna put a strike on your channel.
Got to do better
Take
than that.
next content.
I mean,
This is
just
what you
do,
don't do.
hey Rob, if you want to strike, just do a review of the Fantastic Four Roger Corman
Oh, yeah.
edition. Is all you have to do. Just do that one, and you get a strike and a half.
How do you get a strike for something that technically doesn't exist?
Apparently, the people behind that own it claim that it exists, even though it doesn't. I don't know. All I
just feel
know
like
is do
that'd
that,
be
Rob,
under
and you'll
fair
have many
use,
strikes. Yeah, exactly. All right, Triv, Jacob, you guys have content. Where's that located? I'll let you guys decide who goes first. He's like, do I?
I sometimes do. I've been really bad, but I'm trying to get back into it. So I put up a review of Slay, and I did a review of Vegas in Space. So keep an eye out. Yeah, that's all I got.
What do you have anything coming out in April?
I'm
This is when
hoping
this
to.
podcast-
Oh yeah. By this point,
we're like 8 weeks ahead.
By this point, I will have gotten back into short form riffs with fellow creators and friends of the channel. Hopefully, I will have put out several episodes by this point, but I don't hold my breath for that.
Hopefully you'll have Jacob's recorded by then.
Fat chance, but it's a nice thought.
Exactly.
Not because of
All
him,
right.
but because of me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jake, what you got?
But
Old dick guy, what you got?
he's gone plaid.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I guess I think I still have content. It's out there. You can check it out. Yeah, I'll have more sometime.
www.olddickguy.com. OLE.
Old Dick Eye
Olddickguy.com.
at Old Dick Eye.
Wait, let me see. Is that a website?
Oh,
He's actually
you
checking
put that
to
in
see
there.
if
There's
it's-
going to be something, guarantee it. You're probably not going to like what you find.
But remember, Rob, you live in Florida, so they might ask for your ID and a picture of your
Oh, yeah.
soon to be children, or if you ever have children, and everything they involve with trying to watch porn now. Fuck it, I'm not giving them any information. I'll just watch Blue is the warmest color or something like that. While they do that,
History of Dead-Eye Dick.
It does not.
why
support a
they do
secure
that?
Connection.
Rob just gave himself a virus. Okay, so why
Really
they
big
do
balls.
that? At this point, I have put out content for Severance, which is officially wrapped by the time this video posts. I'm sure I've done some reviews. I don't know. It's one of those wait and see type of things. I have stuff that's posted already that was weeks ago at this point. So just to check out my channel, Movie Emporium. That's where you'll find that. You'll find every episode of the Fifth Dimension, and that'll do it. Rob, thank you again. Thank you, Funko Rod Serling and Trevor Jacob. And with that said, we're going to head out. We're going to see you next week for the series finale of the Twilight Zone. And for myself, Trev and Jacob and Rob, we'll see you guys next time in the Twilight Zone. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Old dick eye. Jake, you are a little low as far as like your sound. Is there a way to turn up your mic at all?
Yeah.
Jake's like, fuck it. We're going to go out. We're going to talk like this.